Right. Well, we don't spare no expenses spared. Hello, everybody. We are back, bitches. The OGs are back. It is Frank and I here for the JHP Spotlight.
We did it.
We did it. We did it. What did we do, Frank?
We survived.
Like, what did we do? What did I do? No, we're back. We're back, everybody. We're here. Let you guys come in. We're so happy to be back. It's been a few months, but sometimes you need time off so you can miss us.
Oh, hopefully the absence has made the heart grow fonder. Maybe by the end of this hour, you're gonna be like, I didn't really miss these guys.
Exactly. Like, whatever. But we are here, kids, and we're back. And thanks for all the support. You still make this show the number one show on my network because I don't know why, but we'll take it very much. Some church announcements. I want to give a shout out to the daytime Emmys. People were asking why Frank wasn't there. Frank had to work. That's why he couldn't go with me.
Yeah, I would love to, but
Next year.
I gotta pay that bill. So, I only have one bill. Actually,
only one bill. That's it. Okay. It's a big bill, I guess. It's very important. I guess it's an important bill.
Yeah.
So, but no, we'll get Frank next year. We're gonna do it next year. We'll go to next year.
Yeah. But trust me, I would not have looked nearly as good as James did. No way.
Thank you. Yes, I busted out in a 30-year-old outfit. I busted out, and apparently it worked. So I will take it. I will take it, Frank. Thank you. But I want to tell you guys, especially that hello, Loretta. How are you guys? Okay, that I got some great interviews. Tammy Govea and I did a great job doing a lot of great interviews. And so we were very fortunate because we got a lot of the winners, Frank. We got a lot of the winners before and after. Lucked out. So we got winners Allison Ream Smith and Fido Xavier for directing. We also got winners Jeff Colber and Kelly Tebow before and after. So they're out there. Also, Nicholas Chavez winner before and after. We also have, I actually interviewed Laura Wright, best hair in television. Sydney Michaela, ex Trina. Also, I got to interview my favorite interview. It's the interview, Frank, it's the number one interview out of all the interviews right now, Kelly Monaco. And I want to tell you something. If you have not watched it, watch it. Kelly is, now I love her. Kelly is real. We talk about her house fire. We talk about her performances as Sam too, and she gets really real in that interview about herself on the show. It's hilarious. So so everything we've been saying about Sam, she basically agrees with. So it's kind of like, it's very interesting. Kelly was real and honest, and I was her last interview. She told the person, James's last one, and then came to me. So I would tell you, it was good. And we talked about Days of Dancing with the Stars too.
Oh, nice. Going back in the time machine for some hot
Frank, I think the interview is hilarious. I mean, everybody loves it. She just gives it to you straight. No chaser.
That's great.
Yes. So here we go. So that's a good one. That's my number one video. I love it. That's my number one video out of all these. I love it. They're all saying they missed you, Frank. Of course, they missed you, Frank.
Oh, you're too kind, everybody. You're going to regret saying that very quickly.
So Judy, Latasha, Joe, George, Kimmy, Annie going, your girl.
Yeah.
George Blackman, Roller Skate Kate, Susan's by Chandra, Teresa Sylvester, George Blackman. So you guys are coming in. Yes, we love you guys. Keep coming in. Like button. So those are out. So those are all under JHP Spotlight. Well, you can actually listen to them too. I know it's very smart, Frank. I did audio versions also. So you can listen to the audio.
Did you?
And the video.
Did you ask Laura to put in a good word with you with Maurice for his podcast?
I know. I told her that after. I told her that before she came on. I go, I want to go on here to try to get on the show. She started laughing. And yes, folks, Wes Ramsey was there, but he did no interviews. He stayed in the background where he should have stayed.
Oh,
so it was fine with me. But Laura and I were great. It was good talking to her. She is daytime royalty. And folks, I try to tell you guys, I don't have a problem with Laura Wright. I was just saying that Carly's in every scene these days. That's the problem I have. With her, no, but she's fine. As an actress, she's fine. She's fine. I don't know about her. So it was a lot of fun. We went really fast. It was really great. Frank Valentini didn't come over to talk to us. Any of us, not just me, any of us, when they won Best Show. He wouldn't talk to anybody. He said he went to Michael Fairman, and that was it. So you want to see what happened? Talk to Michael Fairman, I guess. Check his channel. But we didn't get him. We were all disappointed. I'm saying out loud. We were all disappointed in the press room. They did not come see us.
Wow, that's a bummer.
Yes, it was kind of a bummer. But they won Best Show. So good showing. General Hospital did a great job. Everybody was humble and beautiful. And if you want to see my reunion with Donnell Turner, you'll have to go to patreon.com to see our reunion. So I'm putting in the good stuff. Yes, patreon.com, James Lott Jr. I have a lot of good. I have a lot of goodies over there on Patreon. Trust me, a lot of sub goodies. So if you want to see what Kelly Monaco said, also a little more than she said, it's on that channel too. I'm trying to get to 31 Patreons. I have 23. I got 31. But yes, Donnell Turner and I have a moment. It's been about 4 years since we've seen each other, Frank. Hashtag John L.
Did you rip his shirt off? Be honest.
I wish he had a shirt off. He looked good. He looked good in the suit too. So don't worry about it. He looked good in the suit too. Yes. And there were a few folks we couldn't get, but like I was supposed to get Cynthia Watros and all them, only because we ran out of time. The red carpet was 2 hours. It went 2.5, but then they had to close it down so they could do the ceremony. So but there were a lot of folks that I saw as they walked by. They waved, hugged a few people, but I didn't get a chance to interview them. So it wasn't from not me like I'm trying, just ran out of time. The red carpet went by fast. Really fast. So thanks to Tammy Govea for holding it down. Next year, Frank's gonna come with us. We gotta do it all together. So yes, I hope that we can do it next year. And happy birthday to our buddy. He's 8 years old today. The youngest General Hospital, General Hospital host, has his own show. Max Updates GH. He is 8 years old today. Happy birthday to Max Tomlin. I know his mom watches the show sometimes. Support him. Also, we unlocked a new feature. I have 3,000 subscribers now on YouTube. 3,000. That's 3,000,000. Well, zero stop. So it does. We do have now a super chat feature in the chat. So if you want to hit the little button that has a little dollar sign, will give us a couple of dollars, you can. I got my first super chat yesterday. It was kind of nice. But it's a new feature we have, Frank, now.
Ooh, all right.
I unlocked a bonus thing or something. I don't know. So all kinds of things happening at JLJ Media. And I have a new welcome video if you want to watch that also. So I think it's all church announcements. I think I want to talk about. Frank and I have been seeing each other. We've been seeing each other. Now, Frank and I. Hello. You're always asking about me and Frank, my work husband. We do other shows together. So we've seen each other in this time period. We did the Obi-Wan Kenobi after show. So we do Star Wars stuff. So you want more of me and Frank in a different arena. Check out Bold and Beautiful. That's the wrong test today.
Sure.
Book Boba Fett's after show. And of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi after show. You can check out me, him, and our friend John Duffy. Do that.
And we wear costumes. So it's great, everybody. You can see us like in Jedi robes, stuff. Not really, but okay, sure. That's you. So yes, we have that. So you can watch over there. And also today, Wide Army Spotlight. They are out, audio and video. They are out. Me, Tammy Govea, and Amanda Russ laughed and argued our way through storylines. They're out there. Enjoy them. And check out later today on our sister channel, Edition Days, Tony Moore and the gang talking about Days of Our Lives. And tomorrow, I don't know if you know about this, Frank, you saw this or not, Tony Moore's dream is fulfilled. He will be on Beyond Salem, acting opposite Drake Hogestyn tomorrow. I saw that picture. Look at him. Yep. It's nicely done.
Yes, we know Tony Moore, obviously, from AfterBuzz. And so he says he was 11 years old. He wanted to do something Days of Our Lives related. He got on. I got to speak. He does a great job. We saw Ron Calavardi and all them, and they were like, "You were so great on it, Tony." So I'm very excited tomorrow. Yes, very excited tomorrow.
Hope maybe just the first of many appearances.
Yes, and Sean Blakemore, yes, is on All Rise on OWN. I watched that show. Yes, he's on All Rise. A great show. I love that show. I'm so glad Oprah picked it up. But you want to see Sean Butler play somebody else who plays Andre. watch All Rise. He came on last week, Frank.
Nice.
Yeah,
I know this is GH, but because we've got Steve Burton popping over to Beyond Salem,
yes.
Interest level for Beyond Salem, very interested, sort of interested. How are you feeling?
Folks, I noticed in the chat room, Steve Burton is going to be on Beyond Salem playing a guy named Harris. He started out on Days years ago in a small role. For me, I'm going to watch it. I watch Days Are Our Lives. So I'm going to watch Beyond Salem's been a wonderful addition to the Days family. It was nominated for Emmys, opposite Days Are Our Lives. It was that good. I think General Hospital. Oh, thank you, Sasha, for a super chat. Thank you. Woo! Thank you. I love it. I think good for him. I mean, I know people are mad at. I know it's very controversial. People are mad at him because he wouldn't get vaccinated or wear a mask or what he was going to do over here. Somebody said he's like not interested. I know he's a very polarizing figure. I'm curious to see what he does over there. I watched Days. I think the spinoffs are a great idea. So I'm really curious, Frank. I'm really curious to see who he plays. See if it's something different than Jason. It's something different than Jason. But how do you feel about it? Because you don't watch Days of Our Lives.
Yeah. I guess there's just the real world production issues of doing that, and what's different at NBC Universal as opposed to ABC. That is making it easier for him to have done that than it was over at ABC. So, but he's going to be on there. I mean, man's got to work. So
right.
Yeah.
I say, oh my God, I will watch Make the Robes Happen, James and Frank. I don't have I think I have a cape somewhere in my closet somewhere. I don't know why I have a cape, Frank, but I have one somewhere.
Always good to have the capes. Always.
Yes, right. You always have a cape in there for something.
Yeah.
I got wigs. I don't have a cape. I don't know. I gotta take a look and see what happens.
I'll have to go to the Spirit Halloween store and find those there
you go. Exactly.
Sexy Jedi costumes or whatever. Just get that.
Oh, I know. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm curious. I'll be watching that. Also, a little surprise for you guys. On TikTok, I was doing a series of, remember 45s back in the day, 45s? I've been doing a series of my 45s when I was in my teenage years. I have them still. So I'm going to show you my original 45 that I bought when I was 15 years old in 1984. And I have my original initials. I wrote in all my 45s, JJ. I was just JJ back then.
Ooh.
Not JLJ. I was just James Jr. Here is All I Need, Jack Wagner, when it came out, the 45. Come on, Frank. Look at that hair.
Yes.
Look at that.
Man, I gotta be trying for that.
You should, Frank. You just totally that to the side. This is literally almost 40 years old.
Oh,
here's the 45, bitches. The 45. And I wrote this when I was 15 years old. JJ. That's my handwriting 40 years ago, right, kids? So
look at him.
I found that when I was looking through my stuff. So it was between my Stevie Wonder's Skeletons and my Till Tuesdays, What About Love? So very 80s, very 80s. I've had them this long, Frank.
Oh man, look at that hunk Jack Wagner. Just
look at him. Look at that.
Look at that. The relaxed hands behind the head pose.
Yes.
Looking sexy.
There you go. So anyway, I had to show it to you guys. I found that the other day. So yes. Okay, you got it, Frank. I was in love with him back then. I have his albums in the other room. No, yeah, he was a total recording artist. I mean, he was doing recording stuff. He was singing. So yes, that's so funny. Okay. We're not going to cover everything. We're doing a 5-hour show. That's not going to happen today. So we're going to cover everything. No, Frank, we're not.
But I cleared everything. I
cleared everything out for later. I got stuff later going on. So no, it's not happening. But we're going to cover what we can, of course. Everybody likes the song. I know the song. The song's a good song. It's actually a good song. It's a good song. We're going to cover some key things.
Yeah, James, I will just ask, and not that we're going to go back in time, but just overall, how do you feel as the show kind of, where it was when we last left in terms of how you're feeling about the stories and the general direction of the show? Are you more excited, less excited, neutral?
No 5-hour show.
Oh yes, I'm laughing. Yeah. But what's going to happen is it's a great question. I'm gonna as we cover some of these big storylines, I want to kind of cover kind of what happened a little bit. We're gonna, but overall, the show's been off. It's hot and cold. I give this show a B. It's like I'm not finding anything exciting. I feel like where's the excitement? There are things happening, but like nothing where it's like must see TV.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Bold and the Beautiful has been. I feel like Days has been definitely. I feel like Young and Restless and General Hospital both are kind of like there's stuff happening, some things going on, but like nothing's really. I need something big to happen. I think I feel like we're on the verge of several things, but like nothing. Like the cast line stuff, Elizabeth. Like there's nothing. I mean, yeah, that's how I feel. So I feel the show has been kind of just steady, but not anything spectacular.
Yeah, I would be. I really can't disagree with that. So,
like I said, so many things. Sharia, so many things crawling around. It's just things going on. It's just there's like this is going on, that's going on, this is going on, but like nothing. We haven't had the trial yet of Trina. Like I need something that's just like spectacular to set off stuff. When I was talking to Jeff Kober, who won for Cyrus at the Emmys, as I talk about his one scene he came back for the 15,000th episode. In that one scene with Jeannie Francis, it was exciting.
Yeah.
And when she walked out, she said, "I forgive you." She turned to him, "I forgive you." How he dropped the phone, kind of like she disarmed him. I'm like, we need something more like that.
More stuff. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see. I mean, they've moved him to Pentonville, so he's closer. Yeah. But what are they going to do with Cyrus? Because it's tough to get more out of him when he's incarcerated.
Right, and we have Ryan sticking around, the Esme secret, Nicholas. It's like all these things are just kind of sitting there, but nothing has gone forward.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, I would actually this is one I will say that I said this actually online because I do agree with this. The Home and Heart storyline, this whole thing with the show Home Shopping Network, Dynasty's doing the same, has the same storyline going on that show too right now. The Home Shopping Networks, they're big. My mother shops all the time on them. QVC, HSN, those are her best friends. She would sell me my brothers and sisters for stock in QVC or whatever. And that's story, and I'm like, okay, but however, I have to say, what's her name? Sophia Matson playing. I like what she's doing. The work she's doing with Sasha and her meltdown, and afterwards, I thought was amazing on the live show. I thought it's a dumb premise. You got to hold the baby. It's a fake baby, but her performance was really good to me. And like she's still, because she's not done. She's still troubled. And that whole sequence, they mentioned Erica Kane a couple times. Morgan Fairchild shows up. Susan Batten shows up, who was Luna on Watch Live. So the other stuff was kind of going on. But I have to say, Sasha, and all people in the chat room agree with me, the Sasha thing, she did a great job out of kind of like a messy premise. I don't know. So I want to start with that first. And Gladys saved the day. Gladys on the phone, your buddy, Bonnie Burrows. She loves you, Frank. She loves you. Save the day. Anyway, so yes, now I know what you think about that whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this storyline with many of the other storylines, I just feel, and then I guess it leads into real world issues with how many days people get and all that kind of stuff. But it just a lot of these storylines are, I think, suffer just from the current structure of how soaps are produced, where it's just these storylines get dragged out so much that it's hard to sustain prolonged interest. Because I mean, I'm like waiting to get to the next step of the storyline, and it feels like we're getting to that point now at the end of this. But I've been waiting for this moment for months. So, yeah, I mean, it was just you know, like Sasha's not good, very bad day kind of situation.
It was. Which I can also appreciate. I'm saying the storyline itself kind of bugged for me, but like, I can appreciate her father because the guy is it's so over the top. The creepy photographer, you know, you want pills, you know, you want pills, like, you know, you want these pills. Like, okay, no one in real life does that heavily. It's either you want the pills or you don't. But he's just like, you don't want the pills. I'm like, a little creepy.
Yes. You know, and it just the fact that nobody else is really I'm glad they did a little bit with Gladys and Brando, where at least the thought of possibly pills were back on the horizon for Sasha, but that Lucy and Maxie are just like, do you think Sasha's okay? Like, what do you mean? How can you not be having these thoughts?
Hello.
Having these. But I will say, for as frustrating as some of those scenes were to watch play out, I think overall one of my favorite MVPs currently of the show is Selena Wu.
Am I trying to say it right now? I'm gonna say that. See, it's a bell. Go ahead, Frank.
Man, I mean, it's just she can come in and just light up a scene, and boy, I just like when she gets engaged in storylines, and that was an unexpected addition into this. That I was like, wow, all right, yes, that's right. She is a deception stakeholder. So yeah, all right, let's see her do her business.
That's funny that everyone was starting to mention that just now before you said that. So it's fine. I know you don't read the comments, but they're saying it right there. Everyone agrees. Lydia Look, who plays Selena Wu, is the bomb. You said it right, Frank. She completely lights up a scene. She really does. When she's with Curtis or anybody, she just lights up a scene. And it's just like, who knew she was coming in? Oh, she was like, no. And seeing her with Morgan Fairchild's an icon. She's a total daytime, TV icon, all that stuff. So it's kind of fun seeing them go back and forth a little bit. And she looks great. I agree with you guys. She looks great. But she was like, and then she threatened Lucy, if you don't get yourself together, there'll be consequences. I just thought it's, I agree with you completely. Selena Wu just comes in and but so like I said, there are holes. I mean, there's just things that sort of like, but there are some bright spots. I was like, okay, so I will take it. And so that was that one. So I guess we're inching along with them. But I do like that Brando and Sasha. Brando loves Sasha, and he's really trying to be there for her. And locking her up for 72 hours, that was kind of heartbreaking too. Kind of, he had the right to make the decision, and he did.
Yeah,
for her for interest. I thought that was good too. That was a very good choice.
I guess I'm just waiting for really let's dive into Sasha, because she's just so reluctant to address any of these things that are weighing on her. And it's just like how and so but which is fine. I can understand that from a character standpoint, and that's interesting. But when we live in the world of just repeating that same beat over and over, as opposed to like moving past that and kind of seeing what's next, I get kind of exhausted.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Again, it's happening, but nothing is jumping off.
Yeah,
that's exactly my point. As I'm saying, and there's some good stuff here, but like it's just like, okay, let's go, let's do it. I agree with you, Frank, completely on that. That's how I feel about that. So that's cute. So speaking of just come on, can we just get to it, please? Chase in Brooklyn.
Man.
It's like I understand. See, now, Frank, I understand taking your time. And like, I thought though, because they did switch together with the Bailey story, that we would have to go through this, that they would realize they love each other, they're together, and go from there. They're still going back and forth.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating, James. I agree with you. The same complaints I had about that are just made even more so now, where I'm just exasperated. And I think we all knew where the storyline was going, and we're just starting to get there, where it's like, oh, well, maybe Chase will actually pursue a singing career. We knew this is where it was going, and it's been dragged out. And I just can't really just stand, them bickering with each other and like having a misunderstanding. And then I don't know. I don't think there's anything there. Those scenes, they're just repetitive and tiresome. And it just, to go to where you say, like, where's the fun? Where's the excitement? It's like, why can't we just have them together and embrace some of the fun in this? We gotta have some storylines having some fun, and some storylines kind of, being a little downbeat. But man, it's just like every storyline is just kind of like, meh.
Exactly. And in the chat room, they agree with us. They're like, it's high school childish behavior. By the time you put Chase Brooklyn together, we'll even care anymore. They're besties. That's where I stand with it. What's holding them back? Storyline is dragging. I agree. I'm saying it's the point where it's just not cute anymore. These are grown folks. These are grown folks. Like, come on, get them together. Just put them together at this point, and have them face whatever it is together. That's what we want to see, right? We want to see that.
Yeah, let's have fun in that relationship as they're trying to figure out what to do with Link and the songs and all that. But they're together. Like, that's great. We've already addressed that elephant in the room, and let's see the fun side of this couple working together, which we haven't seen yet, and we're still not seeing, because it's always like some kind of misunderstanding. Oh,
but okay, here we go. And for me, there's always a silver lining in every, I'm not mixing, I was going to say Sal's purse, but I'm mixing metaphors. But the point is, there's something silkier in Sal's purse, or I don't know what's going on. But okay, here's the deal. I did enjoy the talk between Ned and Brooklyn about being similar.
mm-hmm.
I saw, and out of that, I mean, that's something, that got my nerves. But then they had a scene where they were talking about how similar they are, and how he should have went to Olivia, she should have went to Chase. It was kind of like, I liked that. That was a cute talk. Again, it accentuates how dumb they are, but it's just like, but that was, I was like, I liked that. I liked that. I completely liked that.
The frustrating thing about that is, and maybe it's just, a Quartermain, it's hard for a Quartermain to change their spots, so to speak. But it's just like with Ned and Olivia, the fact, as much as I kind of like some ELQ boardroom drama, which was great, it was hard to buy that Ned never once, given everything that's been happening and how hard he fought to get back together with Olivia, felt like, maybe I should fill her in on what I'm thinking. That was a tough one to buy, given the precarious state of their relationship for quite a while.
Right. I was shocked by that too. I thought, well, no, aren't they on the same page again? That's the whole point. They're like, I'm just like, but one thing I will not feel bad about, one thing I'm not exasperated with, is Chase half naked. So thank you very much, General Hospital. Thank you, pool set. Thank you showing us his nice chest during the summertime. I want to thank you.
I will say that pool, that 1 foot
pool sets.
I love it. I will say that, given the other girl that was hanging out of the pool,
yes,
I was expecting that to be another like wrinkle of like misunderstood circumstances. They didn't, which I'm so glad. I am so glad they didn't add that into the mix, because that could have easily, Brooklyn could have came in easily and just like seen them talking for a second, like, oh, I guess I can't talk to him right now. It's over.
Yes, they didn't do that. So, but Chase was half naked. Loved it. Kathy, agrees with you, Frank. Can't imagine that Ned didn't mention it to her at all. I agree. It was out of care. It was that weird, the new character that they were kind of doing. Olivia had more smoke for Ned than her business partner told her the fact she lost half of the MC. I know. Olivia was a little more pissed at Ned than Carly. I was like, but yeah, we'll get to that in a second too. But anyway, so Chase is a singer, kind of an Eddie Main situation, I guess. But you'll go back to Ned in his days. She'd be the manager. I mean, I guess. I mean, the PCBD never gets their man, so why I'm on there anyway. So I guess move on. Even though it brings us seeing a lot more Finn, Gregory, Chase scenes, also Violet scenes more, and Gregory giving Alexis the what for in journalism. How do you feel about all that, Frank?
The one, for the much as we lamented about the underuse of Gregory Harrison on his first go around, the fact that he's got a contract now and he's going to be here for a bit, I like the idea of him mixing up with Alexis. But as much as I like the idea of of him and Alexis being a couple at some point, the frustrating thing is, like, GH is just, I feel like it's just shown me too often that they fail at building interesting relationships in a compelling manner. It's always just drawn out, and you lose for as much as I'm interested in this. This will quickly turn to me not being like or exhausted and like burnt out and just disinterested in this potential coupling because they've dragged their feet so long in doing anything with these two.
Very true. Very true. So yeah, that. Okay, let's go into that. Let's go into that. Actually, let's lead into that part of storyline that's been going on for a while, and that is the ELQ basically take over from Valentine, the merger of of what do you call it? What's that company called?
Oh, Aurora.
Aurora,
Yeah,
like whatever the name is.
the hottest company.
What's called Alexis, whatever it's called. It's just Aurora. So there's this whole thing that went down, and we all knew this was going to happen because Drew and Michael were steamrolling their way through everything. That Nev's going to side with Valentine. I mean, we knew that, right? We all knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. Otherwise, where's the drama?
Yeah, there's no real drama. We knew it was going to happen, but they went to make drama with them. And Lucy, of course, deciding vote always in there. She loves it. So everybody getting mad and pissed the whole 9 yards. And I don't. Do we have to mention Willow fainting at the pool in Sunny's arms? Do we have to mention that?
Oh yeah. That was a rough scene to watch.
Oh.
That was,
and she looked sicker than just pregnancy or whatever. She looked like she was like had leukemia or something. She was like really not good looking.
Feels like there's going to be a medical reason for wanting to find that birth mother.
I know. So yeah. So Michael and Drew, it all fell apart. Carly, who pushed her way in again, so many storylines. We didn't need Carly as part of this. But they put her in the storyline anyway, and now she leveraged half of the Metro Court and won't let no one help her.
Yeah. I know. Oh, yeah. Which it's like, I understand that, Carly, but guess what? Port Charles is a little messy in terms of ties and connections to people. There's not going to be like some like absolutely perfect way for you to be able to get back at the Metro Court. It's probably going to be a little dirty, or just like not necessarily dirty, but there's going to be connections that you might not have loved to have done it that way that would help you keep something that's so important to you. I mean, I will say it'll be interesting to see if she does lose it. Because it's Carly's been at the Metro Court for a long time in terms of that status quo of her professional life. So to see what Carly would do if she did have that in her life. What does she do? I mean, it could be fuel for more stories with Carly.
Scrappy Carly, kind of. And so the fun thing is, Drew went to Nina. And Nina so far has said no. I'm saying so far. Who knows what Nina might do, right? But so far, she's kind of like, well, you could be the savior of this, but it helps Carly. I don't want to help Carly. I guess very interesting. She doesn't want Crimson, because it seems like she wants to be just the editor-in-chief, not the owner. And so I kind of get that a little bit. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that seemed kind of like, to me. It's just, I don't know. The whole Carly, Sunny, Nina stuff is also not nearly as interesting as I thought it was going to be when we finally got them back in Port Charles. So yeah, we're just seeing this. I mean, it much like Ned with ELQ, I feel like the more drama is going to come from Carly losing the Metro Court. We can't do this for 30 days and then have her just get it back and then it all goes back to normal. So,
right.
I mean, I feel like if you want to do the long game, somebody else gets it, and then eventually at some point Carly can, get the money or be in a position where she can buy back her Metro Court share from whoever has it now. And I feel like it's got to be somebody she doesn't want, whether it's Nina, maybe Selena Wu buys, that half of her. I mean, I'd love it if Selena Wu bought that half of Aurora Publishing.
That'd be very good. I know what you mean. That would be really interesting. Oh my goodness. Because they're taking their time with Selena too. It's kind of like everybody's just like, we need major movement.
Yes. I feel like the show has to realize just how good she is to these storylines. So they must realize that. They have to, I'd hope. And say like, all right, we should be doing more with this lady.
Yes, they should. I mean, she's great. She's been on for a while too. It's kind of funny. I think she's been on since 2015 or something like that. So it's been on for a while. But yes. So that whole storyline is very interesting because again, we like Quartermain stuff. We do like Quartermains. We like all that stuff. But also it's they have a large cast. I've been saying this over and over again. It's a large cast, and there are folks not being fully utilized. So I guess this Carly thing comes out of spinning her to a new storyline after Sunny, because Sunny and Nina haven't fully gotten together either. They're still dancing around, kissing a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But they're not together either.
No, it's frustrating. Well, speaking, I mean, are you liking what they're trying to do with Carly and Drew?
No. I don't see chemistry between the two of them. I just see them as friends.
Yeah.
I feel like it's, for better or worse, she had chemistry with Jason. For better or worse, what do you think about that? There was chemistry. We always understood there was something more than just friendship. With Drew, I feel like they don't do it with him either. Like, Karen Matheson is a hunk. In terms of stay-time status, he should be hunking. I don't know what word I could use, out there. And I feel like he's just been kind of flitting. I like his chemistry with Elizabeth. I like his chemistry with Sam. I like the chemistry with other people. I'm kind of like, even him and Brett, I thought there was a little something there too. Like, they're just not, he's just floundering around also. And you're right, they're trying to inch him towards Carly, I think. Right? They are. I guess that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a tough thing on GH too, is that I don't want him to be just a Jason replacement.
Right.
Where, in the sense that when Jason comes back, he's going to be the losing end of that.
Oh, guys, and I guess Frank will be back.
Oh, there I am.
Live. I love it. I was like, and Frank. Well, we heard you say that, about him not being a Jason type. I understand that being a shadow of Jason and being a loser again.
Yeah, because it's just, I don't want that for Drew either. And I think it's hard in GH because with Britt, he would be on the losing end of a triangle. With Carly on the losing end of the triangle. Elizabeth, maybe not, because I mean, she did have a solid tie to. She'd probably be the one that would not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just tough. I like, who do you put Drew together with that doesn't already have like some kind of tie with Jason, that whenever Jason comes back would be the one that person would gravitate towards.
That's true, but also I just think that he's a leading man, and I don't think he's being utilized as a leading man. I just don't think he is, and so I think it's kind of like,
because even doesn't have a storyline of his own. It's all him. I mean, this Aurora ELQ merger was,
right.
He's, it's like him and Michael, sort of, and we really haven't spent a lot of time on it. So I just feel like he's just supporting other people in their storylines. He's always there, like, what do you need? How can I help you?
Yeah.
It's like, well, come on, he's got tons of promise. I mean, right. Please tell me that, as excited as it was about this character coming back, that you cannot find other things to be doing. I mean, his vendetta against Victor, I mean, he's not plotting more stuff against that. We're not seeing anything there. It's just rough.
Yes. Now, speaking of people who have come onto the scene and who are causing controversy, is Cody. The online universe, half of them hate him, and the other half are happy to have him. Now, I'm an equestrian, so I love a horse. Of course. I think Comet's beautiful, so I'd rather watch Comet than another scene with Carly. So I mean, that's fine with me. All day long. I love horses. Why not have a horse? You're like, why not? It's just soap. Why not have a horse? Shit. But now Cody works for the Quartermaids. Mama Falconeri, Mama Q's kind of cute, whatever. Leo's his best friend now, whatever. They've moved him into that territory a little bit. Him and Britt are fighting back and forth. Is there a connection with Faison and him?
I side hedge for 1 second. I did was it weeks ago where somebody did the updated show open for GH and added a horse in there.
Yes, I loved it. I like the horse. I don't care. I like a horse.
That was fantastic. Man, I feel like GH more often than not when they bring a new character on the canvas, they kind of make that character unlikable. They dig a hole for that character right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And then they're waiting for some points. I mean, I can see myself in, 8 months from now going like, hey, yeah, all right, finally, Cody seems interesting now. But like GH, man, I don't know why they decide like this is the best route to go with a character more often than not. It's just to make this character unlikable from the beginning. And you have a tough time understanding like, why is this person in these scenes? Why are they trying to make these things happen between these two characters? This character is just so not interesting and not likable to watch. And it's like, why do that? Why make it so hard? I mean, it's a new character. Let's get excited. Let's get interested about this character. And they haven't done that for me with Cody yet. And that the constant circling around Britt and just trying whatever this is, it's just, I am tired of seeing Cody and Britt scenes.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
No, it's like, and if they're trying to like make a relationship out of this, it's like, man, guys, this is just not a great start to keep me interested.
So that's what I was going to say. I agree with you, and I think, and if everybody is agreeing with you also, because it also leads to me. I don't care about society setups anymore. I don't care about it. I don't care that Spinelli obviously is behind all. Like he's not. It's all frustrating. That whole thing is so frustrating, and Spinelli's walking around all suspicious, and I'm just like, not in.
Yeah, this story, I like. It's a shame because it's like, hey, great to have Spinelli doing something, but then it's like, but this is what he's doing. Oh man, I mean, be careful what you wish for in terms of stuff like that. And
right, all right. I mean, we like Spinelli. I'm just like, yeah. Why is it hard for Spinelli when it's his own company, and he's paying off Cody? I mean, I don't understand none of it. I'm watching it. I'm just watching it, but I don't understand any of it, and so. Good luck, I guess.
Yeah, I don't understand the reason why Spinelli feels the need to have to pay off Cody for this. It's like, why do you need to? What's the big need of secrecy about your involvement in society setups? And if it's, I mean, part of me was like thinking like, hey, was this done? And this could be a big stretch. Like, did Spinelli set this up to help Britt because he knew how much she meant to Jason? When Jason gone, he is this way to try to help her out. Like that seems like a stretch, but maybe you could justify it that way.
Right.
But it's like, I don't just say it. Like I don't need the reason for secrecy at this point.
Spinelli is dressing so different. What's going on? The scene with Sam and Carly, really,
yes. And Sonny. It's like,
Sonny.
How many characters are going to come up to you and just like, trying to figure out what the deal is. And then you just, you come out of some way to get them off. Like, oh, brother.
I know.
And I will say with that society setup, so much like my quibbles about the nurses' ball, which whenever we get to see that again, who knows? Yes. But that Britt was so concerned about her incident with Cody and the parachute landing on her and her falling in the pool and to become a GIF or a GIF.
Yeah, a GIF.
Yes. But this is like a small it's just some small town. I
thought
to a pool. Yeah. Like, what is not everybody's obsessed with this. No, there's no way. There's no way.
Like, it's apparently everybody is. It went viral.
Brother.
So yeah, that's the storyline just like taking forever. I did like, I have a little shout outs. We have a new Rocco. I forgot his name already.
Gramps.
What? Gramps. I love that. I loved it. They called him Gramps. I loved it. Called him Gramps. So it was like a new Rocco. Okay, it aged a little bit. Okay, so I'm happy for that. But that's how the whole ranch hand thing started, and it led to all that. So I don't know. Cody is. We don't know what he is fully. There's a say Faison. He gets like a little starry eyed or something. I don't know what's going on. So.
Yeah, I mean, does it tie into whatever Britt is trying to like keep on the DL that Selena Wu knows about? Maybe, but it's like, how interesting is it going to be? I don't know. Right now, it doesn't seem very interesting. So,
no. I think it's hurt. Oh yeah, Nina got hurt by the whole Sasha thing too. I forgot about that too. Yes.
Oh yeah.
She was crying, and Sonny consoled her again. That's all that happened. We don't know what's. I don't know, Frank. I think in 8 to 10 months we'll be watching the same old clips, wondering who Cody is. There you
go. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, I have no reason to think otherwise, given the way that the show goes. But it's a shame. And the other thing that's frustrating too is the way they keep circling around this. Britt, is she going to tell Brad the deal about her disease or not? And they keep circling, and it gets interrupted, and then it gets. It's like, why are we prolonging this? What's the reason? And Brad can't know about it yet.
I wonder what is the reason. I wonder if there's something going on. Finn Carr, thank you. He's new Rocco. You guys are always good at that. Thank you. We also saw Jake this week too. As we go to another storyline, I'm just like, these are all just kind of, we don't know what's going to happen with Cody. He's here, see what happens. But Jake goes to see Elizabeth, who is now in Shady Brook. Does she look cuckoo? They mentioned the parents again. I say again, frustrating. So they mentioned the parents again, Frank.
This storyline is not great at all, and it is dragging out so dang long. It's a shame, and I like Finn as a character, and I like to see him when he's with Chase and Gregory and Violet. It's like this is just doing Finn zero favors. Or Elizabeth. I mean, neither character is doing well, and it's just dragged out so dang long. And like you've said before, James, like we've talked about before, it's just like that right now I have zero reason to believe we'll ever see Elizabeth's parents, which is crazy to me. If you're going to make this such a big thing about why Elizabeth is the way she is right now, and it's an interesting storyline, and it could be well told if they wanted to go that direction, but it's been dragged out for so dang long.
I agree. So long. I mean, like really long. So I'm like, are we going to do it? I don't have any faith to bring him on. I think it's just a plot point to make her crazy a little bit. And she checked herself out. Those scenes were very interesting and Terry were very interesting. Her being completely wrong, just going off on her, and Terry having to choose and was like, no, I'm actually choosing the same size as my co-chair.
Yeah.
The leader.
And again, that's one other thing to just drive me crazy about GH and the sense of fun. It's not like we get to see Terry that often, or even Chet that often. But the reason to just like manufacture that little bit of drama where it's like when you introduce like, all right, hey, maybe these two are going to be a relationship. Interesting. That's great. I mean, at best I thought it could be like a Brad relationship where we just see them every so often and some new stages happen. But to go like to introduce that idea and then absolutely do nothing with it and just have, oh, well, Chet is now, because of Amy's machinations, is now going to Chicago.
Right.
Like why did we do that? Why? Yeah. It's just like, can't they just be in a relationship and we see it every so often?
Right. I know. So is there alternate Biz? That's what it is. Biz and Liz. Like everybody keeps saying that. This storyline gets another frustrating storyline because we don't see her all the time.
Yeah.
It's like she's gone. It's like second time seeing her in there. She had a bunch of scenes with Kevin or whatever and Jake, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like where when she comes out, she's like, I've done the work. I'm off the pill. It's like, but we've done zero exploration on any of this, which is what I thought we were getting to. I wanted more like Kevin and Elizabeth scenes where they're really kind of diving in and Elizabeth's talking about all this stuff. Because the frustrating thing about that storyline is I think every viewer knew exactly what was going on about and this whole time when things were being vandalized in Elizabeth's life. They figured out what was the deal, and the show still kept on dragging it out. It's like, we know where this is going, guys. Just get there already. And then they finally like, oh yeah, it's Elizabeth doing it, and they still haven't done anything really good with it since.
No, again, it's another one of those. It's like it's all. I mean, it's just nothing exciting. Nothing exciting. And speaking of that, we only saw a piece of them also, and I did like this scene. Okay, so Kathy just brought it up. Anna and Victor talking. Great dialogue. There's some fun dialogue in there. There's some fun stuff in there. I loved it. Now, the scene before that,
with Victor and Valentine was interesting, because now we're seeing that Victor's pulling the strings on Valentine. Because Charlotte's in a boarding school that he put her in and is in charge of. That's very interesting to me. That's interesting to me, actually.
I would agree, because it finally revealed why Valentine was helping out Victor so much.
Right.
Because after he'd been off the radio for a little bit, James Patrick Stewart was working on his outside stuff, and he comes back and he's all his French boat captain with his mustache.
Yes.
You're like, why is he helping out with Victor? And so now it's good to find out the real reason that he's doing this. But again, I like Victor, and what Charles Shaughnessy is doing with him, and it's great. But again, we need to get forward momentum on the storyline, because it just keeps the promises of interest are like, when are they going to be delivered? Because you keep tossing out really interesting storylines or ideas, and we're never getting there. And maybe they're saving it for the big anniversary year. But it's just like, guys, we gotta keep moving with this, because it's man, way to like just downplay the momentum of a storyline.
Yeah, he had Valentine threaten Victor. He was gonna slit his throat if whatever. Again, we're getting these cast-iron glimpses. There's something going on. Victor shows up, is talking to Ava. Victor shows over here, like he's just kind of around. Right, Victor's speaking in riddles. That's how it feels like. He's just kind of around, alluding to things. But again, pull the trigger. Let's just go ahead and do it.
I will say that the fact that a lot of those scenes happened in my favorite location, the park, were spectacular. The Victor just kind of coincidentally overhearing Anna on the phone in the middle of a park. She's probably gets a treat. The staging of that scene was ridiculous.
Well, let's go outside. Like to have that little chain link fence, the bench, right? Since have that set aside. But yeah, I mean, it's again, we have Charles Shaughnessy. He's working it out as Victor. He wants all the cast lines to come together. I need a family meeting. I need something big. Meanwhile, we have Nicholas and Ava trying to get divorced.
Oh.
In that storyline, I'm like,
it's
with Esme looking around the corner in 5 minutes, and Spencer going, "I'm going to get this bitch with a plan."
It is the frustrating thing is when we saw that when they said like, "Oh, hey, yeah, Trina's trials happening later in the summer." That made me sad, because it was just like, this is going to take forever for us to get to the storyline.
Yes,
and it is taking forever. And what is Sam doing? I know we're Kelly Monacle's keeping it real, but guys, on the show, what's Sam doing? She said she was going to be looking into stuff.
Yeah.
Haven't heard sight or sound
about
anything that Sam's been doing. It was too dangerous for Spencer to do. We got to leave it to the professionals. What are you doing, Sam?
I know. They shouldn't do nothing, I guess. Or it's going to be all off camera somewhere. I don't know what's going on. But we have the two cousins, so to speak, Cameron and them, getting DNA of the ladies and pushing Homegirl in the pool, and Homegirl pushed her in the pool. Trina didn't get the pool. She was like, "I'm not getting the pool."
Oh, no.
The other girls got pushed, and the guys got pushed in. So she's like, "Not my hair. Not my hair getting messed up." So everybody else got the pool except for Trina for a change. Like, there we go.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the only character that has been on recently that hasn't come in like a total knucklehead has been Officer Rory. But again, they, much like any new PCPD player, they always are too much by the book.
Yes.
For that's the way they're always written.
All right. Let's see. Oh yeah, and
but like the Ava Nicholas thing, that the fact that Nicholas and Esme, I mean, I felt like it needed to happen for the story, but it was just written like they've written Nicholas so terribly in this storyline. They've made it. I still cannot. The show is not done a good enough job justifying why Nicholas is such a dummy when it comes to Esme, and he feels like this needed protector. it just, I haven't bought it, and I feel like you've had to make the storyline work. The only way the storyline can work is by making Nicholas more dumb, and the show has just really made him so dumb.
Because it's clear he has no plan. There's no plan. I mean, it's not like he's being dumb. We find like Spencer. We find out he's actually fine. I think Nicholas is just dumb. You're right. He's just dumb. I think he's just like, I don't understand this part of the storyline. I don't understand this at all. And it's going to come out. Of course, it's going to come out. It's going to all come out, of course. But see, I wanted to come out when they're divorced. Ava goes, I think I will keep half everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just,
and I get back to you.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
No, I'll take it. It's like the fact that their imploding marriage just was never written believably enough for me.
No.
I feel like Nicholas was like, I should sleep with Esme. This is what I need right now in this moment.
Right.
It was so hard to buy into any of that.
Right. So I slid on. I'm done, everybody. Good night. No, Frank's correct. I'm just done. I turned the fan. It's hot in Los Angeles today, so I turned the fan my direction. Sorry.
That's right. You can take the shirt off. It's fine, James.
Oh,
Yeah.
You won't find no abs.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
No washboard. More like beach ball. Okay. But yeah, so the actors are leaving. Actually, Marcus Coloma has been doing a series of videos from General Hospital set. It's getting popular on GH. These little tiny videos. So they're all doing kinds of stuff. So it's kind of, it's a lot of fun. So they've been doing that behind the scenes. So he's having a good time behind the scenes. But yes, they're all take it off, stop it, James. Well,
Yeah.
That's all you get, kids.
Boo. Boo.
I don't do horror films. Sorry, I do horror films. But yes, but I thought okay, now that we know Spencer is on Trina's side, I'm glad we know that. So I'm like, okay, good, we know that. And now his father betrayed him, though. It's almost like all the hard work they're trying to put themselves together, they literally it's gonna blow up. It's gonna totally blow up.
Yeah.
It's like what? I mean, all this hard work of them coming together, blah blah. It's like if Nicholas was smart, it was like, I did it for a plan. I mean, I don't know anything. It's like I think he just did it because he's a horny old man. I don't know why he did it.
The frustrating thing is I still the fact that Spencer cannot overcome this just obsessive hatred of Ava is just killing me, because it's like, I mean, the two of them could work really well together if Spencer would just chill. It's like, holy cow, Spencer, way to hold on to this grudge for way too long.
But it's like I said, this storyline now, we're not getting a trial to end the summer. It's going on too long. It's like prolonging too long. It's going on. Esme cozying up to Rory.
Brother. We get a little snippet of them going into Jocelyn and Trina going into the Port Charles version of the 10-0 to that bar.
Your favorite, right? The bar, your favorite, the bar fights. They were too young to be in there anyway, but it was like Trina's expressions were hilarious. I was like, oh my God, you had two little girls in there. It was hilarious. Oh my God.
And I still don't understand how like Trina was so impressed with Rory, like letting Esme know he knows what's up with the whole phone situation. Like, really? Do you think that's like he must know that I got a burner phone? Like,
well, my thing is, I was actually on Taggart's side when he got pissed with the whole thing. Like, girl, like, what are you doing? Like, who is going on? And this whole like Rory guy, I love that he's like a true father going, what's going on here? Like, it's kind of like you're doing stuff, and Portia's like, I'm so proud of you for. I'm like, what?
But in one sense, you got to be, because nobody else seems to be doing anything. What's Sam doing? What's Curtis doing?
That's true too.
Nobody. I mean, everybody wants to help Trina, but no, I don't see anybody like producing any results other than Trina and Jocelyn.
Oh my goodness! I'm sorry, guys. This is breaking news. An actor who I loved on 24
Him and G Smart were so good together. Gregory Itzin just passed away.
Oh no!
Kathleen Gotti reported it just now. I can see it here.
He was great on 24.
He was great on. She worked. I worked with him on 24, and he was so good with Jean Smart, who played his wife. They're the president and the first lady on there, and I know Gregory's been on a bunch of stuff. But I just want to say that it just came out a couple minutes ago. A lot of deaths recently, all of a sudden. Larry Storch from F Troop and James Caan, and there's a bunch of people dying all of a sudden again. So, but Gregory Itzin, I love 24 is my shows, and he was really the seasons he was on as the president were really good. Were really good.
Yes.
I mean, nobody beats my man when you're in good hands at Allstate, but I did like those. I did like those seasons. Yes. But anyway, so I just want to say that too. Well, condolences to him and his family and everybody's on there. But yeah, Taggart he was a black daddy. He was, and here's the thing. I said this to Frank before on the show. I've said this to everybody on the show. It's hard for me to get invested in Portia and Curtis because she's holding the secrets. And I almost feel like, and then you keep bringing on Taggart every once in a while playing daddy. I'm like, maybe we should change it where he is the father and not Curtis.
Yeah.
I think you should just go back to that. I think she likes that. So yes, Kathleen Gotti plays Liesel. So friend of our show, we love Kathleen.
I agree with you there, James, because it's like I don't know what they're waiting for because this has been teased for so long. That I'm just like, all right.
Where's Jordan? Frank, have you seen her?
I mean, she chastised Chase for punching Link, but that was about it. She hasn't been up to too much since then. So
I was like. I saw her on the red carpet at the Emmys. I didn't recognize her at first. She's hot, folks. She's hot stuff, baby, this evening. But again, they brought her on for fanfare, Frank. Again, too large of a cast. They brought her on.
Yeah.
And nothing. I saw chemistry with her and Sunny for a minute there. I was like, oh, Sunny. Or put her with Drew. Why not put her with Drew?
I would be down for that. Why not?
Then you're right. It goes back to your thing saying that she had no tie to Jason, not romantically. I'd
be absolutely down for a Jordan Drew pairing. Let's do it.
I mean, why not? Yeah. But again, large cast anyway. So yeah. So that. What else we got in here?
Don't forget about Hat Daddy.
They mentioned him in the chat room just now. I was trying to overlook it, but I guess we could talk about Marshall and all them. What do you want to say?
I will say it's. They dragged this out for so long for so little.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate. And I mean, now we're just saying when he's trying to help out with Trina's storyline a little bit, just to see him kind of working his connections, was at least like, all right, that was kind of interesting to see kind of Marshall doing his thing, trying to find out about burner phones and stuff. But it's just, boy, what an underwhelming story arc for all those characters. That's a shame because it could have been something more. It could have been a much more compact, more emotionally paid off storyline if they just would have just told it in a really concise manner. But they dragged it out for so long that it just really sapped it of any kind of strength they could have had.
I have no comment. So I will go to a storyline. I'm like, I have no comment. Like, I'm just that story and all that stuff. I'm like, here we go. I thought it was cute that Laura and Alexis had brunch or drinks or something together, non-drinks together.
I absolutely agree. That was in the back of my head to mention me. That's one of the favorite things that I liked was just seeing Anna, Alexis, and Laura doing their thing.
I agree. I think it was such history, three strong women just having a talk. I liked it. I liked it a lot. And
I could have lived in that scene for a little while longer too. I think there was like more stuff they could have done.
Me too. No, me too. I totally liked that scene. I wrote it down how much I liked it. Now it also goes to Laura and Valentine. Valentine trying to poison Laura and it doesn't work.
It's true. Yes. I will say for my frustrations, like with a Brooke and Chase storyline, where it's being repetitive and there's always misunderstandings, I would take one less set of misunderstandings if you're going to give me, like, realize the strengths of what this cast in this story can be, where you can give me another Laura, Alexis, Anna story where they're just chatting and catching up, and we're pushing story still for these characters, but in a really engaging sort of way. And it doesn't necessarily be just those three characters. There are many other characters of this cast that, if they were just put together in a room to have them just talk, could be really interesting. And I'd rather the show do that than just recycle a repeated story arc of like a Brooklyn and Chase misunderstanding, or a Cody and Britt interaction that's just frustratingly awful. So it's like, just GH, just kind of, you got the stuff. Just let's just do it. Let's just tweak it a bit.
The thing that's missing, you've mentioned it, I've mentioned it, people in the chat room have mentioned it, you guys will agree with this. One of the things missing on General Hospital is romance. We have a lot of non-couples, almost couples. And people in the chat room are talking about Sabrina, they still have never had a kiss, never gotten together. And I kind of agree now. I mean, I thought you guys were all cuckoo before, but now I'm kind of like, I kind of get it. Like, usually in some part of the storyline, something happens to spark something for the next set, make the stakes higher, and they haven't. There's been no stakes. I mean, it's like he's trying to help her. The stakes are she may go to jail and stuff. That's the stakes. I mean, like, I want to see more of her, and I want to see them more. I feel like all the couples. There's no couples really. There's Sam and Dante, but they barely show them. There's Molly and TJ, but they barely show them. There's Portia and Kurtz, but they barely show. I'm like, there's, they showed the one part that was cute, Frank, was the Liesel and Scotty thing that happened at the salon, and all the old women of Port Charles, the Real Housewives of Port Charles, were there. That part was kind of funny. That was kind of funny. But again, nothing. I mean, it's Austin and Maxie. Where are they? Like we did have the whole Boy Scout thing and Lila's gig or whatever it was called for a minute.
Yes, I'm a troop leader now. That's and I played the guitar. It's
but there's no. I mean, where is the love? Like, where's the love of the afternoon? That's kind of. I feel like you've been saying it. I've been saying. We've all been saying it. It's like there's couples that are on the verge. Like Vanna, but everybody wants, and they had a cute little moment in the car a while back, and that's it. I mean, they're like you're just staring at each other, looking at each other. Laura did bring up a good point though to Anna. She was like, "Are you red flags going off? What's going on?" I mean, like but nothing's happening. What are the stakes? There's nothing rolling off.
Yeah, I feel like those kind of those ingredients of the soap. And it works best when all 3 or 4 ingredients are all being serviced at the same time.
I want to ask you a question, Frank.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this Cody? They keep mentioning how he was an influence on that Dante wasn't so clean. You think it's leading towards something? They keep mentioning that over and over again, or just a point to make him that he's been friends for years.
Yeah, I mean, to make him seem more, he really knows Dante. That's why you guys should care. He knows Dante.
You think that maybe that's it then? Is that it, you think?
I would like it for the sake of giving Dante a storyline. I would like it. But I feel like GH could go either way with this. And I don't know which way they go. That all these teasers could be meaning that they're going to open up something about Dante's past, which could be interesting. Or if it's just like, oh, no, we just want you all to know that, hey, don't worry, Cody and Dante are really tight. So if you like Dante, you should like Cody. I don't know. And I feel like knowing GH, they're probably going to go the Cody and Dante just are really close, and that's why you should like him. But I would love it for Dante to have a storyline.
Yeah. Cherie says this, and I agree. There are a lot of the actors. Again, it's not the acting. It's the actors. The actors are fine. It's storyline. There's so many extra storylines with actors just floating around with no story, just floating around. I think it is right. They're kind of like, I mean, there's stuff lurking, but I need like an earthquake or a tornado or something big, a shooting or something big, something like to happen to catapult the stakes. I just feel like right now it's very flat.
That's true, man. You know, it's right. It's been a while since like Port Charles has had like a good disaster of some sort.
or something.
Yeah.
I mean, shake it up a little bit. I mean, I think you can throw couples together. If I can finally have Chase and Brooklyn go, oh my God, I love you too. There's so much dramatic stuff you could do with it. That could be like, Selena Wu saves Curtis or something like something really weird, like this, and new couples could emerge, or like just anything could happen. Things are revealed, like it just could be. Remember, New Carly, which is Laura Wright, debuted during the train explosion disaster back in the day. She said her first day was her hand, and then she came on and got rid of the third Carly we don't talk about, Jennifer, whatever her name was. Brandisford or whatever. So she said she came out of the whole train wreck. So I'm thinking that could be something we got. Maybe Cody saves Rit's life. And they finally let me. I mean, the stakes need to be raised. I feel like we're sitting here. I mean, I'm done talking about this. We're sitting on these goddamn storylines. Ain't no shit happening on the show. That's the deal, kids. Let's just break it all down to brass tacks, Frank Moran. Let's stop sugarcoating it to everything else. The show isn't horrible, but it isn't exciting. It's somewhere in the middle. It's just like, that's the problem I'm having with the show. I watch it. There's, like I said, there's scenes I like, but there's no real movement. You said that earlier, and that is absolutely the goddamn truth. There's no movement.
James Lott, I love it. I love you getting fired up. And it's true.
It's true. It's like, we're all sitting here talking like, oh yeah, we like this part, we don't like this part. But let's just break it down. Chat room, same thing. We have 40 of you guys watching. We're talking over an hour. Here's the deal. The show could be 1,000% better. We know that, right? But also it could be worse too. But somehow, to me, it's just right in the. It's just. I'm like, I understand weeks or episodes where it's like that's how it should be. Ebb and flow, up and down. But the show to me is it's just, everybody's agreeing with me in the chat room. Thank you. It just does. It's just like it's not horrific. It's not unwatchable. It's just kind of like there's no like this. There's no. When was the last time we had that, Frank? Back when? I'm trying to think when.
Yeah.
The Cyrus stuff, the Peter stuff. I guess was the last time.
But I felt like the bad thing about that is like, the initial Cyrus and Peter stuff is they did them both at the same time.
Right.
Which like why would you do that?
Right. The time before that was the floating rib disaster. That was like 10 years ago. It seems like at this point.
Yeah.
That was the other one. And I guess the Jason stuff, his demise, that's still Peter stuff. That's still that's all that stuff. There's nothing. The whole Luke thing is still out there. Hopefully, I mean, there's a lot of stuff just going. Like they're just like it's like Kathy not Kathy. Ethel just said the actors are just marking time and not going anywhere. It's kind of feels a little bit. It's like I watch the show, it's competent. I watch it, I get through it, but I can't think of anything I'm excited about.
Yeah, no, and it's a shame because it's like I feel like if you can just pace out these storylines better, where you've got some romance, you've got some intrigue, you've got some heartbreak. Right. And you're interweaving these so that it's like you were saying, the ebb and flow. The romance is paramount for a storyline, and then you go to another storyline, and it's the heartbreak, and the other one it's the more action and adventure. And when you weave those well together, it's just you can get payoffs for each one's in different ways, and you're still maintaining interest. And this one, it's just like, boy, there's just nothing is spiking in any of these.
Exactly. That's the problem. It feels like all these stories are going a direction, but they haven't hit anything. So it's like I need some romance. I need some closure. I need some whatever. I just need stuff to happen. Now you're spacing out the Carly thing. Let somebody crazy buy up to her half, and she's screwed. Let's go there. Let's go there and see the fallout of that. You want to see, is Willow sick? Let's get together, and Nina finds out she's her daughter. Let's already go there. Let's let's get there. I am so over this almost there. We're almost there. I have a song almost there actually on my third album. Anyway, but it's like that's how it feels. It just feels like it's just like because you and I both about these storylines, and we're like, but we keep saying it's only going to a point, and then it's like there's like that. I mean, the Chase and Brooklyn should be together right now.
Yes.
They put Austin and Maxie together faster. They put Chase and Brooklyn. Really, they're together faster. And then you only show them any. No, you only show them. I mean, they're together, so to speak, but you barely see them. Now, James Patrick Stewart. I want to say this really quick. I watch his other show because I have grandchildren. The Villains of Valley View. It's on Disney, and he plays the dad who's a villain. And so he was busy doing that for a while. That's why he wasn't on for a while. So make sure you guys know that.
No, he's great. So it's, I'm glad that other series have realized just how great he is. So if he's getting fantastic.
He's good. He's a great actor. I mean, they need to use him. I'm like, again, he's Valentine, because I remember years ago, Frank Moran, roll that tape. Like, I mean, I don't have any assistants or anything. If I had an assistant, I would have that. Frank, when he first came on, I think we were still at AfterBuzz TV. You were like, this clown, it's a cartoonish character. How can we like him? Remember, you were like totally against Valentine. And then the character, the writing, whatever happened, made us all change. And now Valentine is like the best of most of the scenes. I think that he's fully stepped into who he is. Like, he's not all good. He's not all bad. He's done some bad things. He's made us root for him. James Patrick Stewart, he's a national treasure. I think he's a national treasure, I would say.
No, I would agree. And I feel like that's where a lot of my frustration for GH will introduce a character by digging that hole in for them. And it took a while for the character to dig out of that hole, but it's so great that he did. But I don't know, it's like, why does GH feel like that's their common go-to for a new character on the canvas? It's just to make that character unlikable and irritating at the outset. And then you're waiting for them to like, oh, this is why this character is interesting. Like, why don't you just show me that at the beginning, guys?
Yes, I agree. I can't save everything up for November, February, May. I agree. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. This should be what Sheree just said. Wednesday, something major happens. Friday, a cliffhanger. I'll take that. I'll take that at least.
Yeah,
Shit, I'll be a few of those where you're like, oh my goodness. I'm telling you, Bold and the Beautiful has had some oh my god moments in the last 2 months. And I've been not doing any shows where I'm like, I would text chain with the girls. I'm like, oh my god, watch Bold today. Like, literally, they've done some stuff. You're like, what the F are they doing over there? And that's what we need. Now Bold has his own set of problems. That's another story. But at least they give us stuff. You're like, what? Y&R has had a few of those too recently. A few of those where you're just like, oh, okay. Our girl Michelle Stafford's working it out over there. But it's like, oh, okay. Dave's definitely had a bunch of those recently. We're like, they've done some. They're doing what? Great. The devil's dead now. The devil's gone. So the devil's gone for good this time again. Everybody was the devil first before he left. Everybody, you're the devil. You're the devil. And all left. Everybody was possessed. Now it's back to Salem again. But at least with that, though, the devil propelled story. Like, he made things happen that had consequences. So it's like, we need to deal over to General Hospital. Shit, let's deal over there. Let's possess. Who should be possessed? Who should get possessed? Elizabeth? Maybe Elizabeth?
Sure. It's the easy contender for that.
Why not?
You're right. I mean, it's baked into the genre. It's like, we need to have those big, like, what? Are you kidding me? Yes. What does this mean? I got to see the next episode, and we're not getting those.
We're not getting those. And I'm like, that's what we need on General Hospital. And I'm done talking about it. We're talking for an hour and a half. I'm done, kids. I'm done. The devil may not be gone. Who knows, right? Everybody, thank you for watching us. We are back, as we said. We are here. We're doing this. If you are a Star Wars fan, in August, we're going to do the Andor.
Yeah.
I hope it's
fingers
good.
Crossed. Fingers crossed.
If it's not good, it's okay. We'll go crazy on live on television. So we'll see what happens. You're hoping for that, of course, but that's no story. But we'll be back next week for this show. We will be back. You follow us on Twitter. Excuse me. Follow us on Facebook. We're also on all the streaming platform services you can think of. Go ahead and check us out there. JHB Spotlight. JH Dirty Deeds also is out there, so check that out also. Those to possess Sam and Dante. That's funny. We need a true umbrella story. That's what it is, Shonda. We need a true umbrella story. Shonda, thank you for the super chats. I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. You're our second person. Yes,
preemptions have messed up a few things also. I know it happens also recently, but America's going through some crazy shit right now. So I totally understand. And they're thinking you and I, Frank, the fans love you, Frank. They love you. They're saying thank you so much for coming back.
I love you, James, and I love all these people that want to spend some time out of their Sunday watching the two of us just chat about General Hospital.
Yes, we do. And we'll see you guys next time. We'll see you next week. We'll see you next Sunday. Have a good week. Hopefully the country won't explode or go crazy before them, but if God will.